Welcome back, viewers. This is SweetBattlescars again, and I would like to welcome you to another unboxing video. Today I'm going to be looking at the long-awaited Monster Hunter Figure Builder Volume 9 by Capcom. And I say long-awaited because I know that a lot of you have been waiting for me to do this unboxing, and I apologize. I hate to keep you guys waiting, but it's just it took a long time to get here. I really gotta find a better shipping method, and I'm rethinking that right now. You know, I'm still trying to see if there's a better way, you know, to bring these home. But again, these are being imported straight from Japan from a supplier over there. So, you know, we do what we can. Sometimes they get here fairly quick, within a week. Other times I'm waiting 2-3 weeks, even a month. Especially during the holiday season. Last year I think I waited like a month and a half for a certain little product that came really late. But anyway, it's here now. I have it in my hands, and without further ado, we're gonna just go ahead and open it. No need to wait any longer. So there are the beautiful little boxes in there. I'm gonna show you guys what the art looks like, the art of the box. I'm gonna get good lighting here. There you go. You guys can see it's a very dark box this time. It has Goa Megara on the cover with the dragon, Shagara, I think. Forget that guy's name. So these are both in the cover. And the side, you get a view of the scorpion and that like flying beetle monster. Aru Serutasu and Geniru Serutasu, I believe is their names. And this is bothering me. Garara Ahara, I think is his name. Something like that. It's really hard to memorize these monsters' names when we don't have an official name here in the West. On the side we have Gravios. That's the Japanese game, and since he's in Monster Hunter, I know he has an English name, but you know, I just call him Gravios here. Gravios, whatever, however you pronounce it. And this time, actually, believe it or not, I was really looking forward to these little guys here. We finally get a few figures depicting Jaggis, Jaggia, and the Great Jaggi even. If you turn to the back here, you will see all of the figures that are included in this volume, including the little Jaggis down there. You guys can see awesome little Jaggis. So I'm gonna move my lighting around here a bit so you guys can see it better. Move this box to the back. And we're gonna get to unboxing. Now, I've already cut these boxes on the bottom again. I like to preserve my boxes as best as I can. And keeping that in mind, I always cut them near the bottom. So here are the monsters that come with this. I mean, sorry, the instructions showing you some things that you can do with this, I guess. Mainly relating to Aru Serutasu and Serutasu. I mean, Aru Serutasu and Geniru Serutasu, whatever his name is. So, in this first box, we get a nice base for little Jaggis and Jaggia. We get a little Jaggia figure. I think first time ever in the figure builder series. Really nice to finally get these guys in a little figure. We're gonna continue here, and I'm gonna move along. We have a lot of figures to look at, so I'm gonna keep this video short. Here's a Jaggi. Nice little Jaggi there. Pretty cool. And yes, these are tiny. They keep these monsters fairly accurate to scale. So these are to scale to the rest of the monsters in the volume and the series. So you guys can expect these to be tiny compared to the other monsters. Here's another little Jaggi. Skinny little guy. Even though these are minute, you guys can see that the paint job is still fairly well done. The sculpt, definitely the casting of it, is extremely well done. So you guys can always expect the quality of these figures to be maintained throughout every volume that is released. I'm going to put them on the base here. Now I don't know exactly how these might go. Let's look at the They don't really show you how they go on the base, or kind of they do. Here's the instructions. So yeah, meh. Anyway, you guys get the idea. They just kind of sit on the base here. It's always difficult to get these little guys into their respective bases. It's kind of hard for the base to kind of hold them there. But yeah, according to the instructions, they go something like that. Or you know what? You can kind of rearrange them. They don't have to be a certain way. You know, no one said that they have to be a certain way. I guess they do. Anyway, there you guys go. I'm not gonna do it now. I'll do it later. Since the pieces are so tiny and flexible, it's really hard to sorry, I moved my camera to get them in there. So I'm not gonna struggle with that right now. So we're gonna move on. Look at the next figure. Put these boxes away. And we've got the next box. And we get Gravios, whatever his name is. And now this is a much, much bulkier and bigger figure. So there is the torso, the main piece of it. We do get his legs and his wings. So there they are. And we get a little base here. Move this lower so you guys can see better. This time, you're just gonna take them apart, like so, and put them together. Nothing complicated when it comes to this guy. We always get the nice little mechanical joints that we always get, so they snap together nicely. We get the wings. And there he is. There is Gravios. And this is the regular version. So you guys, I want to show you guys some of the details. Close up here, you guys can see the awesome texture on his body. The paint job, really well done. Again, you know, this guy doesn't have much color, but the color that he does have there is really well done, really well depicted. It looks very accurate. He looks like he does in the game. I really like this figure. And again, compared to the little Jaggis, he is huge. He is massive. So I guess in the game they're actually a little smaller, so they're not that small, but they're pretty close to the actual scale. Again, the casting of it is really well done. I really want the camera to pick up all of the awesome textures there. Maybe I'm gonna move my camera here. There we go. You guys can see his face there. Awesome paint job, awesome texture, so great. And he just sits on his base like so. So there's Gravios. We're gonna move on to the next box. And whoa, this time we get a slightly different packaging. And we get Gennaru Serutasu. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. Not really quite sure. Get the little shell here. I guess that comes off when the other monster sits on him or her. That is Aru Sarutasu. So we have the base. And we get nice little packaging for this guy because he is very, or she is very flexible. So you guys can see the legs are attached to the body by those tiny little pegs there. So very flexible. So I'm glad they packaged her correctly so that you don't get any legs breaking off or anything of that sort. We really don't want that. So her little tail goes in like so through a mechanical joint. And her shell goes here. 3 mechanical joint as well, really nicely. Very nice and snug. And there you go. So again, the shell comes off because that is where the other monster attaches to her when they have their little hybrid monster. So really awesome little monster. You guys can see the nice glossy finish on her, just like in the game. Nicely painted. The colors are all there. The little lines are all there. Everything is pretty much in line with the actual monster. And she goes on the base with that little peg near her tail there. Like so. Nothing too complicated. We're gonna set her aside for now. And move on to the next monster. Okay, put her there. Next box. And this time we get a Jaggi, a great Jaggi, and a Jaggi. So really awesome. We got a nice base with a few rocks there for them to just kind of sit on or hang out. We get the tiny little Jaggi companion for our great Jaggi. And finally, the great Jaggi himself. We finally have a great Jaggi figure. I mean, this guy has been in so many games, and it's nice to see that they finally given him some love. We have a great Jaggi figure. He is small compared to other monsters. You guys can see here Gravios, massive and huge. Great Jaggi's a little smaller. So very, very flexible, very, very light. So again, even though the size is much smaller, the paint job is still well done. The casting is really well done. So again, quality doesn't go down, only size. And he should go... I don't know how he goes on the base. Probably like this. Yeah, that looks right. You know, something like that. Just kind of hanging out, hanging around. We'll put him on his base later, but you guys get the idea. Again, he's so flexible, so skinny that it's really hard to get him in the base. You know, it's easier to get these large monsters on the base since nothing really bends or folds. You can just get them in there. All right. Now we have a bigger monster. Zaboa Zagiru is here. There he is, looking nice. And Zaboa Zagiru is one of the new monsters in Monster Hunter 4. Get the little legs, little base. Oh, we have... Oh, that's it. And again, nothing too complicated for this guy either. Just gotta put the pieces in there. Sometimes they are very snug. So you gotta move them around a little bit and then they go in properly. And there you go. Very snug on this guy, but you guys can get it in there. And there he is, looking really cool. This guy is actually really fun to fight, especially when he blows up like a balloon. It's really puts up a good fight. Again, the actual sculpt of the figure is really nicely done. All these figures are really nicely done. What I like especially about them is that they keep the glossy finish consistent. You know, he's kind of like a shark monster, so they keep his skin looking like it does in the game, kind of glossy with that shark skin. And The paint job is really well done. All the blues, the yellow and the orange are all there too. You guys can see the details on his face. Really nicely done. So again, another great figure to add to the figure builder series. And again, he just goes on his base. No problem at all. And sits there on there really nicely. He has actually gets a really cool pose. I really like that attack pose in the game when he's about to charge at you. This is the pose that he assumes. So I really like the pose that they gave him. Actually, both him and Gravios, I'm really pleased with the pose they gave him. Gravios looks really awesome. Or Gravios. I don't know how to pronounce those names. Next box. We get here. Oh, we get the big one. Here he is. Wow, look at that. Just the kind of the body and the tail are this big. Wow. So we have the one of the dragon monsters here, Garara Ahara, I think is his name. Garara Ahara, something like that. And he is massive. He's really long. You guys can see the upper body, the upper portion of his body is fairly large and heavy. The lower part is a little longer, a little less heavy, but a little longer. So again, mechanical joint just kind of goes together like so. Comes in 2 pieces, and he is a pretty big monster. He is pretty big. Really kept him to scale, so I'm really glad to see that. He's a pretty large monster when you fight him in the game, so I'm glad that they kept him in scale with the other monsters. He's definitely larger than Saboa Zagiru, so you guys can see that in the figure as well. It's been translated. So again, this guy is very colorful, and all of the colors are there, and I like this guy because he kind of goes in line with the game, and he's in the cover of the box, of course. It's one of the new monsters introduced to Monster Hunter 4, so he kind of goes in with the game's more colorful environments and characters, and of course the flagship monster Goa Megara is very dark, but he kind of stands out in this very colorful game. Monster Hunter 4 was very colorful to me, and so you guys can see that in this monster design. Very, very colorful, fluorescent yellow and green there, with stripes of orange and red and some spots there. So really, really cool monster. I think goes well with the game. Nice contrast to the dark Goa Megara. It's funny, it's a contrast because the game is very, very colorful, but the themes kind of in the game of virus and infection and all that they're very dark, and they go well with Goa Megara, and so I like how that is translated into figures. He goes in his base also with no problem. And he doesn't feel flimsy or anything. I mean, he's very long, but he's a little flexible, but I mean, he's solid. He is a very solid casting. So there you guys go. Really, he looks amazing on his base. He's gonna be one of my favorite figures now. He looks really nice. I really like the pose that they gave him too. So I really one of the things I've noticed in this volume is they've given monsters very dynamic poses. So I really do appreciate that. I like when they mix up the poses a bit and don't kind of keep them all the same. Alright, move on to the next monster. Who do we have here? Oh, none other than Gravios. But this is a different species. He has wings. And he's a little smaller. And we got him out of there. And you guys can see kind of the difference here in coloration. Some green on the side of his body. And I actually haven't fought this guy in the game yet. So I don't know exactly what the deal is with his smaller scale. I know he's a different kind of variation of Gravios, or maybe he's an entirely different monster. Maybe this is Gravios, and okay, I'm sorry, I got it mixed up. Now I see what I did here. Yeah, this is a different monster. We're gonna put them together first. You know, actually, I should have looked this up first. I don't know why he is so much smaller. I mean, he definitely looks in line with Gravios, but he's definitely different. He has a different face, different tail. The wings are a little different. And he's much smaller. So here we have these two monsters. And I'll put them on his base. This one is a little more difficult, doesn't really want to go in there, but there we go. Arm came off. So there you guys go. Two different monsters here. And again, you guys can see the differences here, but they're very similar. Very similar but different at the same time. I think I might be a little confused actually. This is probably a different monster, but I'm completely blanking out at the name, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, this is definitely Gravios. There's no doubt about it, but I am completely blanking out on this guy's name, so I'll probably put it in the description, or on top of the video, whatever. Doesn't matter. Nice figure though. Really nice little figure. Haven't fought him in the game yet, so I've still yet to encounter him. We're gonna move on to the next monster, and we have one of the other new monsters introduced in Monster Hunter 4, Aruserutasu. We're gonna get him out of the back first, and he also comes with a little kind of a top part for the other monster, which is here. Notice that it's exactly the same piece, but with a little peg, so that you guys can so that we can replace it, the top part, and that guy attaches on top of it, but we'll do that later. Comes with a little rock and the base. So the rock goes on the base like so. Nothing complicated. And this guy just kind of sits on it like so, like he does in the game, ready to take flight, just to fly away and attack. And you guys can see him there. Nice colors, nice casting. Everything is in line with what the monster looks like in the game. Really nice. And again, he gets this little back, and I'll show you guys now what that looks like. So if you get your Genru Serutasu, give him the new back, and this guy just sits on top of her like so. Their little hybrid mode. And I think it's actually Genru Serutasu that kind of takes over this guy's mind or brain, and they become one monster, or pretty much one monster, one big hybrid. So we're gonna put those guys away there. And finally, we've arrived with the last monster. And you guys probably have a pretty good idea of who this is. And it is none other than another Goa Megara figure. So this is the second Goa Megara figure in the Figure Builder series. And this one actually looks like it's a slightly bigger figure than the other one. And this Goa Megara comes packaged nicely also. Its head came with this plastic around it so that you get nice little horns. So what this is Goa Megara in its enraged mode. And when he goes into rage mode, he gets his horns actually get a little bigger, and his wings really expand. And so this is what we're seeing here in this figure. So you have Goa Megara. And before I put the wings on, you guys can, I'm going to show you guys the detail on the monster, so you guys can appreciate the casting and the paint before I go into putting them together again. You know, he's a very dark monster, so there isn't much color to him. But the casting is really nice. And there you go. Very snug again, but it fits all together. Just gotta figure out how to put it on his base, and there we go. Just gonna sit on it like so. And there we go, the enraged Goa Megara rage mode for all of you. He looks really nice, and the fact that his wings are so expanded makes him a much bigger figure than the regular Megara, Goa Megara, that we got in the previous volume. So I'm gonna move some of these boxes out of here, out of the way, so you guys can appreciate all of the monsters that we got in this volume. We have Aru Serutasu with Generu Serutasu, the Goa Megara, this Saboa Zagiru, Green Dragon there. His name is kind of hard to pronounce. And there you all go. So overall, I say that it's a pretty good volume. It's a really awesome volume. It's introducing all of the new monsters in Monster Hunter 4. Well, not all of them, but most of them into the Figure Builder series. So they're really well done, really nicely painted. Again, the sculpt, they're all nice. This volume is really great. Also, I'm glad I have it. And so again, really like it. Now I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Please like and comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, and I will see you guys next time.